Okay, this is an updated video for Santander, and it shows here that this was an update last week, towards the end of last week, and they said consumers will receive notice if they qualify for relief through the mail. Notices mailed to eligible consumers on October 16th. They had a little warning here, talking about scam warning of people calling. We'll talk about that in a minute, but first, let's just talk about this here. They're sending notices of people that directly uh, can get relief based on this right here. Based on you must have gotten a loan with Santander between January 1st and December 31st, 2019, and Santander must have given you a certain internal score at the time you got the loan. Consumers will not know their own internal score. Additionally, neither states nor the Santander administrator knows consumers' internal score. So, and this is why consumers will have to wait for notice from the Santander settlement administrator because they didn't know about the internal score. And this is another way that you can actually fight. So they're saying here you're going to be notified if you qualify. But they're stating right here, where are we at? Stating right here for who qualifies that consumers will not know their own internal score. Additionally, neither states nor the settlement administrator knows consumers' internal score. So the states nor the settlement administrator knows internal score. So that means that Santander is still in control of everything and they can just pick and choose who they want to allow to be in the settlement because all they have to do is spend up to this amount of money right here, 65 million, and they have to spend, I believe, the 450 million total. Um, so if they add everything up and they say, okay, what group we want to do, and it's over that number, basically what they're stating right here is that because no one knows but Santander about the internal score, that nothing, that you have to just wait and just believe uh, what they're saying on you being able to qualify. That's why I came up with the demand letter. That's why I tell people to be proactive in doing something about getting. If you're not included in the settlement, it's not all about being included in the settlement. It could be where you just feel that you were taken advantage of and you want to get relief due to that. And let me show you what I'm talking about. And I've talked about this before. It says going forward, Santander cannot extend financing if a consumer has negative residual income after taking into consideration a list of actual monthly debt obligations. Also, they had right here where dealers were doing what's called power booking and throwing on extras on vehicles so they can inflate the price. They were also inflating incomes of people. They were also inflating the incomes of people. And so moving forward, all of this right here, and you can go to the Santander Multi-State Settlement Agreement website.com website, Santander Multi-State Settlement.com website. And you can read this and you could just fight with them back and forth about that you may not be in the state or you may not be included in their so-called list of people where we just saw right here that they said consumers will not know their own internal score. So how do you know that you were uh, had something wrong happen to you with an internal score if Santander is in charge of it? Additionally, neither the states who negotiated the settlement nor the settlement administrator, which is Russ, this website, knows the internal scores. So they're going to base who qualifies off of people who had an internal score, but no one knows other than them if you had an internal score. Seems a little fishy to me. Seems a little fishy to me. So this is what you should do, is that you should send a demand letter. If you lost your vehicle, you should send a demand letter to have the debt deficiencies, the deficiency waived. Uh, if just in case you don't know what a deficiency is, that's the money that you owe after they sell your car at auction. When they repossess it, 3 to 6 months later, they're going to take it to auction and sell it, and they're going to send you a deficiency. They may sell that to a debt collector, or they might choose to go after you for it. You want to have a deficiency waived. You want to have a negative credit taken off of your credit report so you're able to move forward. If a debt collector purchased deficiency, your deficiency balance, you want to send them the same uh, demand letter that they send it back to Santander, and then you want to have Santander waive it. If you have your vehicle and they claim that you're not in the settlement, which they're still 100% in control of making that determination, then what you should do is you should do the demand letter, and then you should uh, change up your demand letter a little bit to say that if you're not included in the settlement, which is crazy that I have to tell you to do this because they're able to hide information here, unless you want to get a lawyer and have sue for discovery on or subpoena records to see if you had an internal score. Uh, you're not going to know it. So what you can do is when you do your demand letter, you can make add to your demand letter that you believe that you had an internal score, and then also you want to add in your demand letter that you feel that if you feel, I'm not telling you to say this, if you feel that anything in these two paragraphs happened to you, you also add that to your demand letter. And then you also should submit a, uh, let me get to this website 1 second. Okay, the next thing you should do, I'm not going to go to that website because I think it would be confusing because every state is different. So you need to look up the Consumer Finance Department or the department that manages the license for lenders in your state, and and you need to file a complaint against Santander, and you need to state this information in there. Now, it's not going to go far with your state, but what you can do is make a copy of that, and you send a copy of that with your demand letter to Santander. And one of the strategies that is working right now, which I mentioned in a video the other day, is one of the customers that worked with us, that YouTube viewer that took the information that I've been given, um, actually kept hounding Santander and ended up negotiating a very good settlement to be able to keep the vehicle, get the title, and had a loan paid off. I'm talking about a really 10%, 10 to 15, I think it was about a 15, less than 15%, about a 12% settlement on the remaining balance of the vehicle. Uh, One-time payment. They wanted two payments. The customer negotiated it down into one payment, and they're gonna let it be paid off in full for making that one payment, and they'll be able to move on. And you to be able to get them into that position is to, if they claim that you're not in settlement, is that you need to talk about this stuff here because this was real stuff. This is a lot of stuff that they have to go by moving forward, and they're admitting right they're admitting right here that this stuff was going on in the past. So if you find yourself in a situation with Santander, I suggest that you visit the website and see what you can do if you haven't received the notification. Now, if you did receive a notification, this is what they're asking you to do, is that I guess they're going to have a code for you, a web registration code. You punch that in here, and then they're saying that they're going to, you can be able to get your uh, proceeds, and let's just go with the proceeds here, the $244.80 is what you would be able to get from the proceeds that they are going to be giving out to consumers that lost their vehicles. And you know you'll be able to get this here, and they're saying that you'll be able to get it, I think they said by Zelle and some other way that they were stating. Let's see, I think it's here on the home. Here it is, that you'll be able to get electronic payments by PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle if you choose, for that $244. Uh, Again, this is the total amount of the settlement, $550 million. The bulk of it is going to be in debt forgiveness of the debt deficiencies. They're also supposed to remove the negative credit off of your credit reports. And Santander, moving forward, is that they cannot extend finance to consumers has negative residual income, which means that if you can't afford the car, you should not be able to get approved to get the car. So they won't be putting people in that situation. But I have a lot of doubts about that situation, because if they're not able to do this with the amount of interest rates that they charge, no one with decent credit is going to even go to Santander to get a loan. So they've specialized. This was the market that they specialized in, and they also went to a lot of dealers that were specializing in making loans to low income or uh, customers that were over their head, underwater with too much debt. So this is Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. If you need help with your credit, please visit our website, thecreditrepairshop.com. If you need your credit reports and scores, please visit your, the number 3scores.com, your, the number 3scores.com. Please subscribe to the channel. Please post your comments and questions. And thank you, and until next time.